Okay, we're going to take a close look at this Seiko. On the owner's manual, it calls it an analog quartz solar Cal, that's C-A-L period, V175 model. And it's a 1/5 chronograph diver's watch. Again, it's made by Seiko or Seiko, however you pronounce it. And I bought this at Costco, and it is keeping spot on time. Matter of fact, let me just check it right now. I set it yesterday to the second. Let me just see how it's doing now. I'll compare it to the clock in my iPhone, and it is spot on. I mean, it's within a half second of where I set it. So dead accurate. There are a lot of great diver's watches out there that are automatic movements, mechanical movements, but if you want dead-on accuracy, that's not going to provide that for you. A couple of observations about this watch. I think it's a lot of watch for the money. At Costco, I think it was around $160 after a rebate. You can find them on Amazon for around 180 or so. And of course there, if you're a Prime member, you can get free shipping and as of now, still no tax. So I think it's a lot of watch for the money, and I'm going to explain why I think that here as I go through it. And I'm going to point out a couple of things that I don't like about the watch, that I would change if I had my choice. First of all, let's go to the case. And the reason I'm showing you this side view is, for me at least, the case is a little bit thicker than it really needs to be. I like a watch to kind of form to my wrist and sit on top of my wrist. And it can be a bulky watch, but it doesn't have to be overly thick and overly tall. Let me just contrast this with the Rolex. I don't know if I can get this to focus or not. I think I'm too close. I'm trying to bend my wrist around. Okay, there, I think you can see. See the shape of the oyster, the way it lays flat on the wrist, and the case just kind of flows right into the band, and it doesn't go up like this and then step way up. It kind of just flows. I like that kind of a thing. So like if this band were thicker, for example, and it just kind of flowed up into here, maybe that would help. Now, don't get me wrong, the band is very strong. It's just the contrast between this band and then we get to this case and boom, it just jumps up. Maybe if they tapered this more. Maybe just the shape of this, if it had more of a taper. Now, some people are going to say I'm being overly critical. The watch looks very good on the wrist, so, but that's my observation. I really like the face. It has a very attractive face. Let me see how close I can get this to focus. And I apologize for the lighting. Anytime you got a crystal on a watch, you got problems with lighting, reflecting. Very attractive face. I like this little blue touch on the stem, the little blue band around halfway down. I like the coloring on it, the black with the blue. Very attractive. Very good quality. These are screw down, all three. Screw down crowns. I did read online where somebody had one of them stripped. I don't know how they did that, but they seem to be pretty high quality to me. But on these two, the stopwatch ones, I guess be kind of gingerly when you use them. Don't be aggressive with them. But this center one feels very strong, very sturdy. So hopefully you won't have any problems with that. On the only thing about the band, there's one thing I really like about the band. Let me start there. It has a flip lock, like Rolex used to call it. Well, you pull this up, that unlocks, that's step one. Step 2, there's 2 buttons on either side that you have to push in to release the band. So this is not going to accidentally come undone. No way, Jose. Now, this is reasonably heavy duty. These are reasonably heavy. The band, I would call it a medium heavy duty band. I would call it not light duty, not super heavy duty, but strong enough to do what you need to do, to hold the watch and to not have issues. If the watch itself wasn't so heavy, I would say this is a pretty heavy duty band, but the balance between the two, the watch is relatively heavy, and the band, like I say, about a medium heavy. Now, one thing about the band, these end pieces that meet up to the case, I don't know if you can see there, they are not solid. They are reasonably thick, wrapped around metal, but they are not a solid piece that's then drilled through for the pin. And when it meets up to the case, it meets up nicely, but if you look closely, you can tell that this is just a thin piece of metal mating up against it and not a thick piece, which that would really have been a nice finishing touch on this watch, to have a solid piece mating up to the case. Again, the 2 things I would really do to improve this watch is I'd have solid piece on the end, and I'd have this band be a little thicker and have this taper be more gradual down to the band. And then you'd really have a beautiful watch. As it is, it's a very nice piece. I think it's going to be rugged. I think it's going to keep very good time. It's attractive, very easy to read. What I like is those hands really stand out, and the minute markers really stand out so that you can read it at night, during the day. They glow very good at night. So all in all, very nice piece. I'd be interested in having you share your comments in the chat about this watch and about any other watches that you would recommend, similar watches. And I'm going to do some additional reviews in the coming days on some other options. Thanks for tuning in.